It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Miss the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
So imagine you're in a situation where you're going to have a baby, but the father is really no longer in the picture. And you purposely are going to omit telling him when you go into labor. Does he even have the right to know? Or is this just a bad human move? We got into this deep during the live show Thursday, and you should hear it in the podcast coming up in a couple seconds. Here we go. Good morning, Miranda. Jesus, you've been on hold for the better part of 15 minutes. How are you? Oh, I'm sorry, Amanda. I can't read my own writing. Amanda. I'm sorry, Amanda. Thanks for holding for so long. How are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good, good. So your question for Psychic Kim has to do with your living situation, right?
Yes.
Yeah, fire away. What do you got?
I'm just kind of curious, what's my next best option for my living situation?
Right away, I heard you need to move. I something about a toxic relationship that's popping up in my head, and I get like you need to move, and I actually hear out of state. Wow, I wasn't expecting that honestly, but they're like you're going to be better moving out of state. I hear southern, somewhere south. When I say south, that could be even the Twin Cities. That's south. So, but they're also saying out of state. I hear you're trying to hold on to too many things around here. You're trying to grasp at straws. They're like, pack your stuff up and move.
Is that an option for you, okay, Amanda? Can you just pack up and go?
I mean, not that easily, but yes, probably easier than some.
What about what Kim said about a toxic relationship? Is that pretty on point?
Yeah, I would say removing myself from a toxic situation, yes.
Sure. All right. Well, south you go, I guess, and better winters maybe.
Yeah.
All right. I hope things go well for you. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining our show. Jamie is on next. Hello, Jamie. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Good, good. You got a question about a move as well. What do you want to ask Psychic Kim?
Yes. I do not want to send my younger child to the high school of the city I live in right now. So I'm wondering, do you see like a move really big, far away for us, or just transferring schools and staying in the house that we're in?
Either option is fine. Wow. You could stay where you're at and have them transfer schools kind of locally, just down the road. I see, that one. Or actually packing up and leaving it. They're like, really, it doesn't, wow, getting chills. Doesn't matter which option you choose actually in your, like, for your highest good. Both are going to be equal in regards to the outcome. So they're like, right now, try to stay in your current home and just have transfer schools. I see some online stuff, but I hear make that happen first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to call out a high school or anything, Jamie, but what is not appealing about the high school he'd be going to or she'd be going to?
Yeah, don't say the name.
We'd be here all day if you wanted me to talk about that.
Okay.
You know, sometimes when you hear parents talk about problems that they're having with their kid in the school that your kid goes to, you don't realize, like, my kid's not going through that, you know, and so you feel for other parents that are having a problem making sure their kid has a good school experience, which all kids should. So that's a shame.
All right. Well, hang in there, Jamie. It sounds like either option is going to be good, but, start by trying to stay in your house, it sounds like.
All right. Thank you so much.
Right, you're welcome. I hope you have a great morning. Sam, what's good? How you living right now?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for asking. You got Psychic Kim, and you want to know, you'd said off the air, it's just like, are you going to have any peace in your life? You want to go into that a little bit more?
Yeah, so I've been struggling with my kid's dad since forever. We've been broken up for over a year, but he still kind of treats me like his mother.
Okay.
Depends on me for everything.
Okay, needing you to do stuff. Okay.
So based on that, what would your question for Kim be then?
When will I be free of him?
Oh.
Or what do I need to do to be free of him?
Like, you're not taking the matters into your own hands like a final plan here, are you?
And she wants to just.
Oh, definitely not.
All right. Let's just make sure we're not doing that. I don't want to end up in another subpoenaed situation. Kim, what are you seeing here?
It's going to be a while. It is going to be a while. Yes. Like, I'm talking probably a few years. I get where you could put your foot down and that doesn't matter. You could try this and that doesn't matter. It's got to come on his end where somebody on his side helps him see reality different, helps him understand things differently. So it's not that you are meant to do anything different because I feel like you're just banging your head against the wall and it's not going to do anything. You can say whatever you want to say. It's just not going to do anything. It's got to come from somebody on his side that will help you out. But it's going to take probably a couple of years.
Is that frustrating?
Oh, man. Very.
There's no way to
I've
expedite
already
that.
been dealing with it.
We need it to last 3 years. She can't just like grow up, have him grow up. Or
What if she sneaks into his house late at night, puts a brick of cocaine to somewhere, and then calls the cops? Would that work?
Ill information. Don't listen to him. But why does it have to take so long?
It's part of their journey, as in there's lessons there that she's learning about herself, and it's same with him. They can go through it a lot faster, but it's going to get a little bit more dirtier the faster they go.
Don't let it all encompass your 3 years, though. You know, it might be worked in every now and then, but don't let it take over your life.
Yeah, I understand wanting to control the variables, Sam, but this is obviously something you're going to have some patience with.
Yeah. I mean, dirty for him or dirty for me?
Like he did dirty.
Both.
Yeah.
Speeding it up.
Like, it's both.
Okay.
Because it pulls some really dark stuff out of yourself when you're going too fast.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right, hang in there, Sam. We appreciate you being on the show, and thanks for your patience. Hi, Miranda. Thanks for holding. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
We're great. Thanks for calling the show. How long ago did your ex-husband pass?
March 13th last year.
Okay, so your question on that is coming up on a year anniversary is what?
Yeah. I was just wondering if he had a message for me. I'm still having a really hard time moving forward. He was still my best friend regardless of the divorce. So I was just wondering if there's anything he had to say.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I kept seeing a ring coming off when you first started talking about him, and that confused me. So when you said divorce, that makes sense now. Hang on one sec. There is a song that is popping up in my head, and I don't know how it relates to him, but it's Don't Take the Girl.
Was that Tim McGraw?
Yes, don't take the girl. Yeah.
Yeah, that song. That one's popping up in my head, so I don't know how that relates to him, but as soon as you start talking about him, that's like screaming really loud in my head. So I don't know if you like that song. There's meaning behind it. I hear you need to listen to that. He's kind of...
Careful.
Okay, yep. I see like there's an energy in front of me, and they're turning around and crossing their arms and like doing this like huffy puffy thing. A little bit judgy right now yet towards you. I just feel energy on the other side. They're not showing themselves. It looks like a silhouette, so I'm not going to say it's directly him, but I'm going to tell you they're a little bit upset with you on not that you're still grieving, but just some of the choices that have been made in the past. They're still trying to process some choices that were made in the past. And then I hear a little bit mean to you. Like, yeah, you were mean to him. Like, oh my goodness. He's got a little bit of he's kind of mad at you.
Why is everyone so mean to each other?
I don't know, but he's kind of throwing this little kid temper tantrum like, well, she did this, she did that, and almost blaming you yet for some of the things that you guys did when you're together. He's kind of acting like a little bit like a child. So I don't know if he did that when he was here on Earth, but that's kind of the energy he's showing me. Okay.
So nothing has changed with him, then. That's good to know.
Yep.
That offer a little piece for you, Miranda?
Yeah.
All right. Hang in there. Time heals. I hope you have a great morning. Thanks for joining us. Lori. Hi, Lori. How you doing?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Are you in a little rut in your relationship or what?
No, it's a new relationship, but I'm sort of conflicted about if this is the right relationship for me long term or if I should keep looking. So we're kind of at that crossroads where we're either going to be more casual or get more serious, and I'm always kind of conflicted at this juncture. So I was curious on Kim's thought on it.
Well, there's laughter.
Yep. It really could go either way, but I'm feeling it's more of a friendship type role, honestly. Like, yeah, you can get a little serious, but then I see somebody running out the door.
Oh.
So, yep, I would keep it more on the casual side, friendship. Not a bad person. I will tell you that. Not a bad person, so I can understand why you get confused. But there's definitely still another person coming in this year. This year. Something with the name Tony. Screams really loud.
Why do you say whoa? What did she just hit on?
I just don't know anyone named Tony, so that's exciting that you said this year.
Yeah.
I think it's really good timing for me right now to get in something serious, but I don't want to get my hopes up with things. The big thing that was holding me back with this particular newer guy is he's very introverted and I'm very extroverted. So I was really concerned about how long term that would work out. So I've dated introverts before.
Like
but,
agoraphobic introvert? Or is this somebody that maybe you could coax out for a little farmer's market here and there?
I don't think those kind of things would be issues, but I got invited to a New Year's Eve party and there was going to be potentially 15 people there, and he was really back and forth about that. I'm it's only 15 people.
Yeah.
So I go to huge events, it's 200 people. How are you going to do if I want to date for a wedding? These are things that concerns me about it. I just think it was interesting whole name.
That would wear on me. I had that. My ex-boyfriend, Matt, I'd bring him to a barbecue and he would just sit there. He was paralyzed with fear to talk to anybody. And that weighs on you. You feel the responsibility to not be able to mingle. And that's a lot.
Lori, when you get off the phone with us, are you just going to scroll through your Instagram to see who's Tony out there?
No. I think I'll be very, very interested about if that comes to light, because there was years ago, I had a dream that my soulmate or life partner was named Ben. And I had told only one of my friends this because I feel like a crazy person when I get a name like that.
That sounds
crazy. But then she introduced me to a Ben, and I thought that was the Ben, but then he kind of just ghosted out. But then I did end up having a true relationship with a Ben. So then I was well, I don't know. It was definitely something important in my life, and it did help me learn a lot about myself. So it was still a very beneficial relationship.
So, Kim, you're saying Tony is the new Ben?
I don't know. It's just exciting.
Yeah, there's something with the name Tony. So if his name isn't actually Tony, he's got to have a friend. It's got to be some association with him. So a family member, Tony. He could have a passed over loved one that's named Tony. So it's got to Tony. And I hear ding, ding, ding. There's something with Tony, and not a friend. His friend isn't named Tony. He's either his name is Tony or there's a passed over relative that's on the other side named Tony connected right to him.
So Tony.
So she should start looking through the obituaries for somebody that had a brother or friends named
Now
Tony.
we're going out of control.
I'm just saying, everybody's got to look, right? We are loaded for bear on our live show coming up Friday. Johnny D will be in the mix not once but twice with some old school for you. We've got Darius Rutger tickets for you at about 8:20, and an hour before that at 7:20. We're going to try and put $50,000 in your bank account before the weekend. So definitely get up and roll with the live show Friday as we wrap up the podcast right now. Every good piece of gossip starts with and then you just unload.
This has been paying off. The moment you had the idea, you're every time you want to give me some gossip, you're always girl.
Well, and then,
I'm sorry I call you girl.
That used to freak me out because she'd go, girl, do you know? And I'd be like,
Did
stop.
you hear? And nothing ever is boring after the word girl. So if you call and give us some girl gossip, that's what we're craving.
It starts with girl. And maybe we're going to call you Tara because I know that's not your real name.
Right.
Maybe Tara can give us a girl.
Girl,
Close.
I have some juicy gossip.
Let's go. What do you got for us?
Okay, my cousin doesn't want to tell her baby daddy when she's going into labor. She says that this is her time to be, a Mother Earth guy, all this new age kind of stuff.
This is wrong, by the way. You got to tell the father of your child when you're having the baby.
Normally, JJ and I are, we never agree, but this is, even if he is a crap boyfriend, what if he's going to be a phenomenal dad? Maybe they just weren't supposed to be together, and now you're robbing him of this experience. I don't think that's right.
Well, he's really looking forward to it, and I tried to tell her that, and I don't know if I should just casually tell him this, but she'll know it's me, and then there'll be even more drama.
Yeah, plus, how do you know when she's going into labor unless she tells you? I mean, because, you can go into labor at any time, and unless she texts you or calls you, I don't, oh, boy.
She'll know right away, unless she's one of those that blabs to everybody, and then you have better odds of her not tracking it back to you. But
I feel like she's doing an Instagram live, and all of a sudden she's like, hey, everybody, I'm going into labor. I'm a real watch your bobber kind of guy. I don't think it's any of your business, but this is a moment that you can't get back.
And
right?
then don't you think it's setting the tone for the entire co-parenting? I mean, it's just going to get so nasty.
I totally agree. I think it will. And I think she should tell him, or at the very least, he should be aware that she's planning to do this, that it shouldn't all be shrouded in secrecy.
Yeah, I can't. I'm going to put you on hold for a second because I want you to hear what other people think about this. But I can't imagine not telling the father of your child that you're going to have his baby.
And I have known of many a bad baby daddy that just wasn't in it, that was in it for that, first 30 seconds of whatever they did to make the baby, but then just kind of ghosted. So I've seen that. But I mean, when you have somebody that could be the other half and you're going to leave them out, that's such a huge moment for somebody.
I'd be interested to see if anyone's actually done this and then what were the repercussions of it. A couple of seconds ago, I heard from a girl we're going to call Tara, and she's got gossip because, did she say this was one of her friends?
This was, her cousin.
Her cousin
is pregnant and has divulged to Tara that she doesn't feel like she wants to tell the baby daddy when she goes into labor, that she wants to have that moment. And like I said, I get it. Sometimes you make babies with people that you just don't mesh with as far as a relationship. But what has Dr. Phil always said? Love your kids more than you hate your ex. It will work out for you in the end, and your kids won't have that lifetime feeling of uncomfortability. Do you want to put that on an infant right away? And he's going to just have this resentment for the rest of the time you have to co-parent. You essentially are stealing a very big moment away.
And you can't get it back.
But this would be a good conversation to have, after I push the baby out, because we're not together. This is a very intimate situation between two parents. I don't want you in there. It's not going to make me feel good, but you come in right after and hold the baby.
Sam, you'd hit us up right away after we got done talking with this a second ago, so I'm guessing you got some thoughts on this.
I actually kind of missed the first part of who said what.
Okay. So it's Tara's cousin said, I'm not going to tell the baby daddy when I go into labor.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about that? That's a bad human move, right?
Because. So he already knows that she's pregnant.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I think that if the mom wants to have that moment, like you said, alone, then to have that, and then him be in the waiting room or somewhere close by where he can then
come in, see his baby, right? This is what most of our texts are saying is it's okay to have him around if you don't want him in the delivery room. That's one thing, but you got to let the guy know, right?
So we say it out of this corner of our mouth, but what if he lets her go all 9 months with no support, no help, causing her stress?
Again, that's a bad human move as well,
exactly.
But it doesn't justify him not knowing when his child is going to be born, does it?
Right.
I actually think that if he is making the choice not to be involved, then he doesn't want to be involved, and therefore you don't have to tell him that you're giving birth.
We don't know that he doesn't want to be involved. We just know that she wants to leave him out.
If there was that case, then I would say that would be.
All right, good looking out. I appreciate you joining the show. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. Your phone's just a little choppy.
Have a good day.
I want to reintroduce you to some audio that we played yesterday from Kate Hudson, and then I want to play you back the call we got immediately afterwards. Kate was talking about, like, nothing wrong with flirting.
I don't think we should ever stop ourselves from feeling excited by new energy. Like, if you're having issues in your relationship and that's kind of filling it, then maybe you should be looking at what's going on in your relationship that's not right. But if it really is that you love your relationship, but there's just this guy that, like, kind of makes you feel great, I say enjoy it and don't take it too far.
So we had aired that, and everybody has their opinion on flirting. And then we got this call from a woman. We're just going to call her Mrs. X because I know she didn't want to give her name. But this is how she had responded to this, and I want you to hear this whole thing.
Good morning. I have a comment about that never stop flirting. I have an experience that makes me disagree.
Okay, yeah, tell us all about it.
So, anonymously, I have been married for almost 10 years.
Nobody knows you're married?
No, but I don't want to say who I am.
Oh, got it. I thought you were just like, I've been anonymously married for 10 years. Okay, anyways, I hate to break up your story. So you've been married for 10 years?
No. I've been married for almost 10 years, and I had maintained a friendship with a guy from high school. And honestly, like, we hadn't seen each other in person. It was exclusively just online, just talking. He had gotten married right away out of high school, so I knew that he was unavailable, but, like, he's always been a really good friend. And, like, we did cross that line, and it did go too far just in flirting. Like, there was an episode where it kind of turned into, like, sexting, but there were no pictures sent. We weren't on the phone with each other. We weren't videoing each other. It was all just in text.
Yeah.
And literally, like, the next day, his wife found out about it.
Who was the one that did it first? Who was the one that was comfortable enough to do it for? Okay, so what did he say?
So he started with, like, calling me babe and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's cute, like little pet names. Like, my husband and I have been married for so long that he's just calling me random stuff at this point to get my attention.
Okay.
So with this guy and the flirting, he just kind of was, like, saying what you want to hear and, making those mental images in your head of what you want. But then it all kind of is like, you're married, I'm married, this is wrong, it's never going to happen. Like, once his wife found out about it, he was like, I choose my wife. And I was like, that's great, I'm not going to leave my husband over you.
Right.
But that was,
Did it feel weird at any point? Like, we should not be...
Yes. Like if I'm having these thoughts about somebody else, then I should be either divorcing my husband or I should be working on what's wrong with my husband.
How did it blow up with his wife? How did she find out?
Because he doesn't use Facebook, and time again, he had told me that the only reason why he kept his profile was to talk to me.
With what Kate Hudson said, it was like, it's nice if somebody does flirt with you real quick. It's like, oh, I still got it. But to continue that, there's no way.
Feel good.
Yeah, there's no way that it can't lead to something.
Like, I went to a gas station one time to pick up a pack of cigarettes. Bad, I know. But as soon as I walked in, the guy was like, I'm so sorry, I was just distracted by your beauty. And I was like, whoa, like, I don't even have any makeup on. I look like crap. Thank you.
Get out with LPP. Can you help me? Get out with LPP. Can you help me? Get out with LPP. Can you help me? Get out with LPP. Everybody!
So this one fell in our lap because yesterday we were talking about in Paparazzi, Tori Spelling, how she posted that photo of her 7-year-old son getting this full-on, full-body massage. She was pretending to do it. She posted the picture. It was a problem.
But he's like, oh my God, people are going to freak out. I said, why? Like, it's a cute photo. Everyone knows it's not real. Clearly, we are not at home. I'm not making him do chores. Like, clearly, I'm at a massage place. Comedians can post anything. Comedians that have families, kids, like, they can post anything and people are like, haha, they're kidding. That's funny. But if an actor posts something like, oh my God, that must be true, she's a horrible mom.
You just have to understand, first off, if you post something, there's going to be a troll that hits you up.
Anyway, it was the child getting a massage thing that prompted one of our listeners to text us.
Josh, you want to break this down for everybody real quick, man?
Well, I'm having a kind of hard time. The stuff you're talking about, a little bit reminded me of it. So my wife actually brought our daughter, who's 11 years old, in to get a massage recently. And I found out that the person who carried out the massage was a man.
Okay. You said your daughter's 11 years old?
Yeah, she's 11 years old.
Wow.
Yikes.
Okay. As a grown woman, it's not a big deal for me as long as I'm getting a great massage. But why didn't you find out like that day, or why was that not stopped by your wife? Did she not know that he was in there with her?
I just assumed it would be like a woman masseuse, and I think she was hiding it from me, honestly. I have no idea what she was thinking. I don't know what kind of person they're hiring that would like do that. I didn't grow up having any kind of massages, and I think it's completely weird and alien to me.
Well, okay, first off, I don't think it's the massage parlor or whatever you want to call it, the masseuse fault. I'm sure if they didn't suggest somebody or request somebody, they just had the next guy up. And if it's a dude, I'm sure he was a professional and everything, but like being the dad of a daughter, I get where you're coming from. If I found out that my wife and my daughter went to get massages and she was getting rubbed down by a grown man, I would have an issue with that too.
What does an 11-year-old girl wear during a massage?
Apparently she's wearing a bikini, but it's like,
okay.
I don't think anything would make it okay. I don't think there's anything she could be wearing that would make it an okay thing for a grown man to be doing that. It's ridiculous. It's completely ridiculous, and I'm just like, I looked at. I don't think there's no laws about it or anything, and it's like, it kind of pisses me off.
I think if you're a male masseuse out there, to see your way out of that situation, or say, hey, I'd like to switch and have the mom instead of the little girl, you're only doing yourself a favor.
You're doing your job.
I know.
Like,
I get it.
Is like, first off, that guy is just doing his job, and I'm going to guess that 99% of male masseuses are really professional and they don't do anything wrong. But here's the deal. You never want your kid to be in the headlines because this was your child, right?
Exactly.
So I get why you're so pissed about this.
So I wonder why she didn't tell you. Do you feel like they waited, you said like a few days until you found that out? That's kind of a big detail.
Maybe she felt like it wasn't a big deal. I don't know. I mean, she says like the guy's a professional. She's been working with him for a long time.
Yeah.
The same guy gave the massage to my wife. She's like, oh, he's great. He's very gentle. He's like a good guy. He's a nice guy. And I mean, I trust my wife. I don't think my wife would go in a situation, put herself in that situation if it wasn't a good guy, but it just seems like a weird thing.
Let me, I'm going to put you on hold for a second as we get people's thoughts on this. Let me flip the script on you, Kat.
Yeah.
If a woman was rubbing down your 12-year-old, would you have a problem with that?
No, I wouldn't, but I'd also be in the room. I don't know if we got that detail. I don't know.
So you wouldn't, if you and your son go to get massages and you're in one room and he's in the other, no matter who's rubbing him down, you're in that room?
Yeah, I don't know if that is the age that I would start bringing him for that stuff. Chiropractor, yes. Maybe one of those, the sitting up ones for a quick back massage at the mall. Yeah, probably fine with that one. But no, by yourself in a room, maybe starting at 15 would be okay with me.